What's up, everybody? This is Maximilian, and for this episode, it's basically nothing but a bunch of level grinding. We're going to finish off all of the trainers on the cycling road, but before we do that, we're going to go to the Dojo in Saffron City. So we're going to take care of these guys and pick us up a Pokemon. I can't remember if I recorded it or not, but at some point earlier in this walkthrough, I was Mew glitching just on a couple of random trainers to see what I could get. And one of them happened to trip a Hitmonchan, so it's pretty much decided for us that we're grabbing Hitmonlee at the end of this. There's no reason to get a second Hitmonchan, especially since we're trying to go for a catch-em-all. So we're going to take care of that as soon as we get past these guys. And they're actually a little bit higher level than I expected, since I didn't grind through the cycling road completely when I went on my way to Fuchsia. I left a few trainers out there just because I wanted to get it over with. And I was playing for far too long for one session. So this is the Fighting Dojo, slightly more difficult than it should be, because I'm basically making it difficult for myself. So if I do something really stupid here, it's because I'm actually having to try a lot harder to beat them. So, I don't know. I'm trying to raise Pidgeotto a lot more, just because I want my Pidgeot. Like, Pidgeot is so cool, even though it's just a standard regular type Pokemon, and it isn't that strong, it's still awesome. And for the time being, until we get something else that can fly us everywhere, it's up to Pidgeotto to do that. So we might as well make use of him, right? And he's actually particularly good against fighting-type Pokemon. The Fly move has a lot of power for being an HM type, which is great. Fly and Surf hold a lot of power in them. So if you happen to get something that typecasts well with those HMs, then you're better off using them over a bunch of other moves, actually. I think there may be another move that typecasts as a flying type move that has a greater power total than Fly, but I am not quite sure. It may be Drill Peck or Wing Attack. I don't know if Sky Attack typecasts with as high a power as Fly does, but Fly is very efficient. Definitely a good attack if you can put it on the right kind of Pokemon. So we're going to try to use Pidgeotto as much as possible. I think in one of the later episodes, I may have used a couple rare candies on it, because for some reason, I always had this thought in my mind that Pidgeotto evolved on level 32, which it doesn't. I just figured out it evolves on 36. I keep thinking of Venusaur. For some reason, Venusaur evolves at 32, but every other Pokemon of the starters evolve at 36. So, no idea why that would happen, but maybe it has something to do with the fact that grass Pokemon are supposed to be easier to raise. I'm not sure. Anyhow, once we get through this, the Dojo in Saffron, and we clean up the rest of the cyclers on the cycling road, we're gonna go to the Silphco Tower in the middle of Saffron. I actually tried battling one of the trainers in Koga's gym, just to kind of get an idea of what the par for levels is, and we are definitely not there yet. You can generally tell what you're supposed to do based on the level of the Pokemon that the trainers have in this game, except it's not really laid out very clearly for you at this point in the game. You have to basically figure it out yourself. And after experimenting in Koga's gym, I'm pretty sure that we're not going there yet. I don't think that we could make our way through it if we really wanted to. Even with the Pokemon that we have on our team, it would be very difficult. So we're going to level grind through the Silphco Tower first, and by then we should be more than ready to go. And then after we go through Koga, I believe we can go straight to Sabrina, because the difference between those two really isn't that much. So we're going to do that, and we'll have the first 6 gyms out of the way. And then I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut off the Elite Four poll at that 6th gym, because I got to have some window of time in order to acquire the Pokemon for my Elite Four team. And then by that time, we should have a pretty good idea of what it's going to be anyway, so it'll be set. So be thinking of your favorites, because I want to say 2 or 3 episodes, we'll be having the last few gym battles start to come around. So just get ready to vote for those. If you haven't voted already, I encourage you to vote. You can vote for up to all 4 of the slots if you want to. I noticed some people are only picking 1, and then other people are leaving entire teams out there. You can totally vote for an entire team if you want. I just take all of them into account. So if you've got a combination that you'd like to see with Mew and Charizard, and you want to see a certain 4 Pokemon, then go for it. By all means, let me know. I totally can't believe that that Wrap Attack missed right there twice. Like, really, when do you ever miss with Wrap Attack? I figured that last 1 HP would be absolutely no trouble at all for Dratini, but oh well, he gets no experience. Which really sucks, because not getting any experience on a Dratini is terrible. The Dragon Pokemon, as you could probably figure out from what Lance tells you, are the hardest to raise in the game. They require more experience than any other Pokemon to raise, but there's a reason for that. They end up having the best stats in the game out of any Pokemon type, naturally. So, any time that you miss out on experience, it's devastating, because it sets you back basically another battle, which is huge. Because once you start getting to these levels in the game, like in the lower 30s, things really, really start to get hard as far as progressing in levels. So it takes quite a bit of experience to get any levels grown. And since I'm not going to resort to rare candies, we're going to have to do it the hard way, which is the way it was supposed to be done from the beginning. I actually can't remember the last time that I've actually gone through this game without just rare candy whoring my team up to level 100. I've just done it ever since I figured out how to do it, but this time I guess I'm just not going to do it. Just not going to do it, and we're going to hope for the best. One thing I really hate about the Cycling Road, though, and it's another reason why I skipped over this as soon as I got to Fuchsia, is because every single Pokemon they have here is Poison type, and they just have the uncanny ability to poison your team at the drop of a hat. I cannot stand it. So you find yourself playing one guy, going to a Pokemon Center, driving around, find another guy, get poisoned again, go back to the Pokemon Center, rinse and repeat for like 20 trainers, and it's just stupid. It is so tedious. I actually had one battle with this guy who had a muck that I just basically completely skipped over in this video, and you'll see it when we get to it. It took me over 6 minutes to fight one Pokemon. Yeah, that's all he had in his team was one Pokemon. It took me 6 minutes to kill him. Like, I know that some of these battles you can finish in like 10 seconds, and some of them take a little longer, but there's no reason why any battle should ever take that long. Like, it was just ridiculous. I swear, the only 2 moves he used were Minimize and Poison Gas. Like, that may be the most annoying thing next to the infinite Wrap Attack that you get against, like, an Ekans or something. That just completely bypassed my mind when I was thinking of the most annoying moves, and now I think it's may have eclipsed the top spot. Like, that is just absolutely stupid. There's nothing more annoying than fighting a Pokemon that has Double Team or Minimize, because indubitably the trainers will never ever stop using it. Ever. Until it just doesn't do anything. It's aggravating to say the least. Nonetheless, we did manage to get through here. And I don't want to say a reasonable amount of time because it took me forever. And after I'd sped up the video to 2 times speed, I realized that I still had to cut a good 15 minutes out of it. Which was ridiculous, considering that it took me an hour just to take care of the dojo and the cycling road. And honestly, the dojo only took me about, 10 minutes. The cycling road took me almost 50 minutes to get through. It was so stupid. Oh, I'm just going on a little rant about Pokemon and Poison, but Poison is so annoying. Hopefully you all can relate to me on that. I generally don't use Poison tactics because they're really inefficient. They're just mainly more of a D-bag move than anything. But I'm skipping out on all the times I just went to the Pokemon Center because that just sucked up so much time. Here he is, there's the muck, and I'm just going to skip over the whole battle. Because there's no point in me watching me miss it over and over again. I can just tell you how bad that thing was. That was an experience. I'll have you know. If you go into the right house, the guy will give you a good rod, but since the good rod is strictly worse than the super rod, I'm not really going to use it. And if you remember the gold teeth that you picked up in the Safari Zone, if you take them to the left house and give them to the Warden, he gives you strength, which you do need in this game in order to complete it. So I think what I may do is use a utility Pokemon to have it, because honestly, strength isn't that good of a move. It's not very powerful, it doesn't typecast for anything, and it just really sucks up a critical slot on your Pokemon. It's really unfortunate that they also didn't have the HM Forgetter guy like they did in Silver and Gold. Because there are sometimes when you just want to forget it. And if you like don't want to take out that slot permanently. That'd be a great way to get rid of it. Unfortunately, there's no way you can forget an HM move in this game, which I don't understand. But it is what it is. So I'm going to try and find some way to have a utility Pokemon in our party for when we have to use Strength. Because once we get to the Indigo Plateau, we can just fly there from now on. So it really doesn't make a difference. You will also need to use it when you go to certain places like the Seafoam Islands, when you want to get Articuno, stuff like that. But more than anything, it's just a hassle. Just something they put in the game to slow you down, at least in my opinion. And I'm going to go back on the cycling road, do some more level grinding after that. Because apparently I'd left a few trainers out there. I, literally probably spent half the time scouring that place, going left and right. Just looking for somebody that I had missed. But rest assured, we will not be going back after this. It is completely taken care of. I got a couple of questions recently about working with the Mew glitch and the Ditto glitch, and I think some people said that they were having trouble stepping down and hitting start at the same time. I find that the easiest way to do it is to, well, first thing, make sure that your game is playing in the normal speed. Make sure that you aren't running it at a frame skip or an increased speed emulation. Because when you do that, it makes it harder to time it, since your window of opportunity is a lot smaller. But if you think of it as like a grace note or a gallop, you basically just want to hold the down button, and then as soon as you contact the down button, switch over to the start button. So like a 1-2 effect. If you get the idea. That's just the way I do it, and it works very effectively, at least for me. I don't know about you, but that's what I do all the time, and I have yet to mess up in quite a while. And also with the Ditto glitch, I told you that I was going to use it to get all the starter Pokemon. Unfortunately, well, I wouldn't say unfortunately. I'm not sure if it's unfortunate, but when I traded my Kadabra to get Alakazam, I figured, well, since I've already got a trade going on between emulators, I may as well just trade to get the starters, right? I mean, why waste the opportunity? So I ended up getting them. And I didn't show you guys how to get those using the Ditto glitch. However, you can get them using the Ditto glitch very easily. It just takes a ton of rare candies, or some high-level Pokemon, one or the other. But it's just a couple of separate special values that you need to use for the Ditto glitch, and you can get them whenever you want. I posted a comment on the prior video, although if you guys want me to, I can post the values in the description, or give you the link to that hex table again. The link to the hex table that I gave in the description of the previous episode will list every one that you can possibly encounter with a special value, so it's a very handy reference if you're planning on doing this to complete your Pokedex. Which you will have to do if you want to complete it without trading. So probably a good thing to make note of that. In the next episode, now that we've taken care of all this, we're going to go to Silphco. I think I'm just going to maybe barely start on Silphco. I wanted to stop at a place where I was barely into it, not too deep into it, because if you remember, Silphco is a huge contorted mess of teleport stations, and it can become really confusing to mentally map all of those. So I just stopped very briefly in there, so that way we could have like a more complete walkthrough. But I'll start from the outside of the building when we get there. So next episode, we're gonna battle a few more trainers, level grind a little bit more, and then we're gonna make our way on over to Silphco. All right, I'll see you guys then.